Facebook. Hi, friends. Hello again. Hi, this is Marina Shepelsky, your immigration lawyer in the States and US. Hello from Shaziyama Aziz. How are you? So we're going to start talking about President Trump's election for a second term, what to expect in the next term. So much in the news that we will be discussing, but I'm sure that you guys care more about what to expect, and that's what we're going to talk about. What can we expect from Trump in the next 4 years? Just before we start, I want to encourage you to write in the comments where you're watching me from and ask me questions. It could be something about what you think my opinion is. It could be something about immigration law. Of course, nothing I say here is meant as direct legal advice, of course. This is more for entertainment. This is more for, educational purposes and so on. This is not intended to give anybody direct legal advice. I encourage you with any specific questions about the case, call our office and I'll be happy to do a consultation for you. Or you could talk to somebody else in our office. We have a great team if I'm not available, for example. All right, let's start on. I'm just saying some hellos to Shazima Aziz. Shazima, where are you watching us from? I'm really curious. Fraz says hi. Where are you watching us from, Fraz? Kwaku, our long-term friend and loyal follower, says good morning, super lawyer. Hello. And there's a question from Kwaku that I will address a little bit later in the show, I promise. Let's talk today about us, just a little bit, right? Charles is watching us from Kelsville, I guess, California. Hello. Wow, you are 3 hours behind. It's really early. It's 8:06 in California. And it's 11 in the morning. Here, I'm in New York at our office. I was in our Manhattan office yesterday. By the way, if you guys are from other states, we have a really convenient location now. We are in Manhattan, right across the street from USCIS, from Immigration Court. So I was sitting in my office yesterday making a video with immigration right behind my back and thinking about the next 4 years. Now we know it's going to be Trump. We also know that the House of Representatives and the Senate are Republican. The Republicans are a majority now, and a big difference, not like a one vote difference, but a big difference in legislature. Legislature is where our American laws, including immigration laws, are usually made. And the fact that the Republicans are in all three, which is really a historical thing. The president is Republican and conservative, pretty conservative. The House of Representatives, part of Congress, is Republican, and the Senate is Republican. And number 4, I'm going to add to that list, the U.S. Supreme Court is now Republican. The country is definitely moving into a conservative Republican, and that type of era is going to have all kinds of issues with immigration. They're making it about immigration much more difficult for people. And just to explain their position, it doesn't mean that I'm agreeing with them, but I want you to understand where they're coming from. They believe that opening our borders and giving people an amnesty would make us more attractive for more illegals. They don't want to reward people running across the border and sneaking into US and then just getting their papers like they did nothing wrong. To them, breaking immigration laws, for example, crossing the border, to them, that's a crime. They consider it a crime, although our laws do not make it a crime. It's a civil violation. But they're saying, look, the borders are open, all kinds of terrorists come in, people who are crazy can come in, people who are criminals can come in, terrorists can come in. We don't want those people here, and they should not be coming in. So that's what we're dealing with, and they're going to make every step of the way much harder. I'm going to talk to you about what to expect, generally speaking. I made this whole article about it. It's going to be in our blog. If you're interested, check out our website, shepelskylaw.com. I write there almost daily, almost every day. I personally, and sometimes some of my staff too, will write blog articles, but most of it is me about immigration. And the most interesting things that people are thinking about, this is what I'm writing about, not something boring. I'm telling you, I write about the news. I write about like what we're talking about. Of course, everybody's thinking what to expect in the next 4 years. And I made a whole list. I have like 17 items here. So number one, we do expect increased ICE raids and enforcement. That means they're going to be trying to deport people who are undocumented. There's people who have been deported, they never left. There's people who are, they committed crimes and they're not documented. They're going to try to get those. No more Biden's policy of enforcement priorities, which means under Biden, they were trying not to deport people who have US relatives or green card holder relatives who don't have crimes, who don't have any like criminal background. They were trying to, ignore them a little bit and just deport the others who have crimes, who have deportation orders, who've done bad things. That's not going to be a thing under Trump. Trump is just going to try to deport anybody who doesn't have any status. If you don't have status, I recommend you file for something right now. We need to survive the next 4 years. Next, termination of DACA. I think DACA will end. He's going to say Obama had no right to make laws like this. It's an amnesty. And again, with the Congress being what it is, and the president being what he is, and the US Supreme Court being Republican and conservative right now, don't expect any type of amnesty. No amnesty. Forget about the whole Dignity Act. That's out. DACA will be out. No more DACA. Increases in government fees for immigration applications. Also, public charge rule enforcement will come back. And under the first term of Trump, there was even a special form for new immigrants to fill out who are coming here under family unification, that they have to prove they're not going to be a burden on taxpayers, right? It's called the public charge rule. You can prove that you're going to come and you're going to get a job immediately. You're going to get your own health insurance. You're not going to get any welfare or anything like that, right? So that's the kind of thing that we can expect under Trump, and it's going to come back. Number 5, I made a whole list for you guys, is less family-based visas. Number 6, the wall will continue to be built. The wall at the Mexican-American border. By the way, write in your comments if there's anything else that I'm not mentioning here. I want to talk to you guys. I want to make this into a conversation. And drop me a comment about where you're watching me from. What do you think about all this? TPS will be finished and over and canceled for some countries, not for all of them. But some countries like Haiti, I think, no more TPS. Number 8 is increased checking, vetting, and processing delays that will appear. So they will have enhanced security checks, more administrative processing that will cause more delays, including asylum delays. Next is going to be stricter refugee admissions cap, less refugees being admitted from other countries. More strict student visa laws. So tighter rules for F1, M1, J1, even students. And those getting visas will be really much more hard, potentially adding more restrictions on employment by students. End of CBP1 app for border asylum. That's out. No more CBP1. And this is related. They will bring back remain in Mexico policy or wait in Mexico policy. So if you're applying for asylum at the border, Trump is going to ask you to wait in Mexico until the US officer makes a decision. Next is PD, prosecutorial discretion. No more. That's going to end. Prosecutorial discretion was very wide here. I was asking questions about it all the time. under Biden. So under Biden, if you had a bad case of asylum, for example, you really didn't have a good way of legalizing, but your kid was going to turn 21, or you have a wife or a husband who is a citizen or something else, they were willing, both the government attorney, the ICE attorney or PLA, and the judge, to just terminate and end your case and get it dismissed. They don't want you clogging up their calendars. No more of that under Trump. No more PD. 14 is court asylum criteria will become more stringent. I think that there will be a limitation on approvals only for where you can prove direct. Oh, there's a bug here. Oh, an ant. You'll have to prove direct persecution by the government. That's called Nexus. A work authorization, I think the duration of work authorizations will be expected to be reduced. So they will be for shorter amounts of time and shorter approval terms. And finally, I have on my list here, H-1B visa requirements will be stricter. That means less foreign workers. Okay? And of course, I mentioned it already, but I'll repeat again. I expect there to be no kind of amnesty in this Congress, under this president. So even if Congress magically wants to pass an amnesty law under Trump, he will veto it. He will stop it. There will be no amnesty for anybody, and that's going to end any hope of amnesty for the next 4 years. So that's what I wanted to talk to you about. Just going to say some hellos here. Sass is watching us from NYC. Thank you for commenting. But Dara says there's a question. I will get back to you. Really quick, Cheyenne wants to know which city is good for asylum in New York or San Francisco or LA. Number 1 is San Francisco. I would say two. New York, 3 is LA. But the rest is hard. Boston isn't bad. Baltimore is not too bad. Chicago is pretty good. But other places, not great. You look at the map. Whoever voted red, you're not going to want to be in the courts right now. Okay? The states that voted red, if you live in one of those states, you're going to have a difficult time getting asylum. So that's what I wanted to talk about in terms of news. Another piece of news that's super important is that Trump will be appointing as the new head or secretary of the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, which is the umbrella agency over USCIS. The governor of South Dakota, Governor Kristi Noem, she does not have any kind of experience with immigration or really federal politics. She is a state governor. Trump is saying, but of course, why he's doing it, she is his loyal supporter for many years. So he's giving her this present because she's been a good supporter of his. He said in his announcement that Governor Kristi Noem will work closely with a new board of another appointment. His name is Tom Coleman. During the border, she will be working on USCIS stuff. Since the last time Trump was in the office, Department of Homeland Security had 5 leaders. And the last one was Alexander Mayorkas. He was elected for the latest changes we saw in the last couple of years. But this new head of DHS, Department of Homeland Security, she has always taken hardline positions on immigration. She was a candidate for Congress in 2010, and she supported them an ultimately unsuccessful attempt by the Senate Republicans to stop the Obama administration lawsuit challenging Arizona's immigration laws. She's for stricter immigration laws. She is against the safe cities, the harboring cities, sanctuary cities. She's against it. She's not going to agree to it. So she's for states giving the illegals over to the federal government for deportation. So That's what we can expect as far as Tom Homan. Tom Homan is going to be the new border czar. He's going to be responsible under Trump for the U.S. borders. And he used to be ICE director. So he is actually experienced, at least. He has some experience for this job. And he's also a supporter of Trump, of course. And he thinks that uh, he will be helping in, bringing to life this project 2021, 25, project 2025, which is a sort of a sweeping conservative blueprint for the next Republican president. But Trump said he's not interested in that. So I don't know if it's true or not, but they definitely want to deport the 11 plus, more realistically, like 18 to 19 million undocumented immigrants. I recommend you hire a lawyer. We are here to help you right now. Now is the time to start some kind of case if you're eligible, even a little bit. I'll be honest with you, that's where you want to go right now. All right, I'm going to start answering your questions. Kwaku wants to know, can illegal immigrant file for VAWA or a T visa without going back to their country? Absolutely. That's what I'm saying here. If you're eligible for VAWA, if you've been exploited, treated badly at your job, file for T visa. You can file for those. It's a long process. You will be legal. You're not going to be considered illegal or undocumented. You can file right here in the United States and you don't have to leave. Kwaku is in Kentucky. Thank you so much. Fras is in New York City. Hello. Badara Guia says, I got my green card through AIS, but my asylum case is still pending. What do I do? You have to write to the asylum office, send a copy of your green card, and ask them to close your asylum case, saying you now have a green card and you wish to close your asylum case. Cheyenne says, okay, we talked about this. Ravi Raj Naik says, hi, ma'am, did USCIS stop processing VAWA? Stop processing VAWA-based work authorization cards. I've been waiting almost 8 months. Any suggestions? The work authorization based on VAWA takes like a year or more sometimes. So yes, I know you've been waiting 8 months. I feel your frustration. I hear you. I know that must be tough, but you have to wait more, unfortunately. Cheyenne, they did not stop the processing. That's how long it takes. Cheyenne says, is it no longer possible to enter the US with the CBP1 app? Even if we filled out this form in Mexico, is it still possible to enter the US? Right now it's possible. We'll see if Trump will cancel this. We'll see. But right now it is possible. Waco says, super lawyer, thank you. One of your TikTok videos, you talk about how, oh, guys, thank you for mentioning this, Waco. Find me on TikTok and become a follower. I record a lot of good videos on TikTok, completely different content than here. I mean, there are crossovers, obviously, but if you want to see more from me, more things that I talk about, find me on TikTok. I'm immigration lawyer Marina Shepelsky. Just Google my name, Marina Shepelsky TikTok. Quaco has a question. He says, super lawyer, in one of your TikTok videos, you talk about if you're here over 10 years, undocumented, you can get help with removal, cancellation of removal and get residence. Can you explain it more? Absolutely. So if you're here undocumented more than 10 years and you have a US citizen or green card holder, spouse, or kids, young kids, under like 16, or even parents, elderly parents, and you have to show those people, your kids or your spouse or the parents, have a medical hardship or some other type of hardship, or maybe they have a great job that they're not going to be able to find in your home country. And in their interest, we're asking the court to end your deportation and get you residence, get you a green card. That's called cancellation of removal, 42B. We start by filing for asylum. You get the work permit. Currently, it's a 5-year work permit. And we go from there. Okay, Badara says my A number is not valid in the asylum system. Doesn't mean that my asylum case is canceled since I already got my green card through marriage. Not necessarily. I would just write them a letter, as I already just said. Include a copy of your green card. You know, you have your receipt number for the alien number. Uh, it's not just the alien number, it's also your asylum case receipt number. So write a letter where you put in big letters your asylum receipt number, your alien number, and say, please close my asylum case. I have my green card through marriage already. Gotcha says, hello, is it possible to put an asylum case in abeyance, freeze it, while waiting for pending VAWA case? Usually not. But if the case is in court, you can ask the judge for an adjournment. Okay? In court, you can ask for an adjournment. It depends on the judge if they will do it or not. Under Trump, they were denying all these adjournments. Under Biden, everybody was approving, more or less everybody, depending where you are. Owalabi says, super lawyer. Thank you for calling me super lawyer. Is it appropriate to mail your I-589 application to USCIS? Yes, they're still, accepting mailed in forms, and we're mailing in a lot. Falusa says, well done, man. Thank you so much. Yasser Ibrahim says, hi, Marina. Is there different processing times in VAWA for spouse, child, or parent? No, it's the same time, and it's like 40 months now. Something like around 40 months. Gotcha says, how to file the I-485 if we lost the I-360 receipt notice. You'd have to do a FOIA then to get a copy of the I-360 receipt notice. File a FOIA, USCIS FOIA. Give us a call. We can help you with that. Our information is, if you're watching me on YouTube, on Facebook, if you're on LinkedIn, it's in my profile and on the bottom of my screen. If you're watching me on Instagram over here, that I'm, my camera at home, I have a separate one for Instagram, and YouTube is like towards my right for Instagram. My contact information is in my profile as usual. Okay, question from Faluso. I'm here on a visitor visa in the US. I came in last month. What can I do to stay here legally? Give us a call for a consultation. There are options, okay? Okay, let's see. Our Instagram, I'm not seeing so many comments. I wonder if people are seeing me on Instagram. Really weird. Huh. Not many comments on Instagram, which is making me think that maybe people are not seeing this. It is what it is. All right, you guys. I think I'm going to be done for today. Thank you for watching. Oh, there's another question here from Troking. Troking says, good morning. I have a question. We won cancellation of removal 2 years ago, but the judge says there's no visa yet. How long do you think we'll have to wait? When you win cancellation of removal, sometimes it takes up to 3 years. So you could be waiting another 6 months to a year. Question from Reginald P. My USCIS I-130 is taking longer than expected. What can I do? You have to be patient and wait right now. Poly Fitness says, I applied for asylum 6 months ago, so my asylum application will be handled with Biden or Trump. Trump, okay? But I don't know if it will be handled because the wait times are so long that it might be handled by the next president after Trump. Manuel Flores has a question in Spanish, but no habla español. I'm sorry, I don't speak Spanish. But Dara says, thank you for your answer. So once it's closed, is it safe to go back to my country and come back? It's safe, but you might have issues when you file for citizenship because they will say, hey, you filed for asylum. As soon as you got your green card through marriage, you started traveling back to your home country. You were lying when you filed for asylum. They might give you a big problem with that. Postico says, I have a pending adjustment of status, having been an overstay and working here unauthorized before. I'm married to a U.S. citizen, and I did enter through a port of entry. Will I be affected? Hopefully not. I think you will be okay. I think you will be fine. All right, I think that's all I have for today. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. Have a great week. I'll see you next week. Thank you. And this will be in recording, and you can watch this on YouTube, on I guess Facebook on our account, and also on LinkedIn. Kwaku says thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I love you all. Thank you for watching. See you next week.